Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we're going to revise Unit 4 for the exam. First of all, we have the vocabulary. You should know each word with its meaning and to know whether the word is noun, verb or adjective. Then you must know the part of speech of each word, like devote, and the verb of it is devote and the adjective is devoted. Okay, now we have the question. Fill in the blanks with the correct word from the box. Odes, overwhelming, ambition, accomplishment, transformation, devote, dyslexia, applauding, paralyzed, diagnosed, and overcome. The first sentence, the audience was for Beethoven, although he was deaf. So the audience was applauding, which means clapping for Beethoven, although he was blind, was deaf. The second one, to be successful, you must have ambition and hope. Ambition and hope. Your will remain even after your death, your accomplishment, which means achievement. I overcome any problem I face with strength and faith. I overcome. I defeat. Parents devote their lives for their children. Devote. The sixth one, there was a huge, in her look after the makeup, there was a huge transformation, which means change. 7, my grandfather suffered from dyslexia, which is a difficulty, especially in math and reading. 8, never let the odds stop you from achieving your goal. Odds, which is obstacles and difficulties. 9, doctors, the old woman with cancer diagnosed. 10, my neighbor has been paralyzed since he had an accident. Paralyzed, which means disabled. 11, Oprah Winfrey lived an childhood overwhelming, which means strange and harsh. The second question, complete the following sentences. The synonym of applaud. Synonym, which means the meaning of applaud is clap. The meaning of odes is obstacles. The verb form of transformation is transform. And the adjective form of ambition is ambitious. The last one, the noun form of diagnose is diagnosis. And you should know the parts of speech of each word. In the grammar section, we talked about the past simple, the past perfect simple, and the past perfect continuous. First, the past perfect simple, it is formed as subject plus had plus verb 3 and the complement of the sentence. The function of the past perfect simple, first, past action that has completed before another past action. The oldest action is used in the past perfect, and the other action is used with the past simple. For example, I had cleaned the house before my father came. Number 2, an action that was completed at a specific time in the past. For example, she had studied English by 6 p.m. yesterday. So she had completed her study at 6. And the last function, the cause of a past action. For example, Brazil didn't win the match against Croatia. They hadn't practiced well. So the cause of the action, we used it with a past perfect simple. The keywords of the past perfect simple, before and after, by the time, by plus time in the past, for example, by 2010, when and already. Secondly, the past perfect continuous, we form it as the subject plus had been plus verb ing. The function of the past perfect continuous, first, an action that took a period of time and completed before another action in the past. So we are focusing on the duration, on the period of time. For example, I had been playing for 2 hours when my father finally came. So here we are focusing on the period of time for 2 hours. Second, an action that had been going on in the past and whose results were visible later on in the past. So, for example, the teacher looked very tired. She had been teaching for 3 hours. The keywords of the past perfect continuous are for, when, since, and before. Now, question 1. Complete the following sentences using the correct form of the verb. The first one. After Sophie, her work, she went to eat lunch, and the verb is finish. So we have the keyword after, and we use it with past perfect simple. So after Sophie had finished her work. The second one, I washed the floor when the painter, and the verb is leave. We have the keyword when, so it must be in the past perfect simple. So we say, I washed the floor when the painter had left. By the time Dana went to the party, everyone home. The verb is go. We have the keyword by the time, so we use it with a past perfect simple. So everyone had gone home. Zaina had been studying for 2 hours when her brother woke up. We use it with a past perfect continuous because we have a focus on the duration for 2 hours. 5, the girls a song since 3 o'clock when the teacher came. We have a focus also on the duration of the time. So the girls had been singing. We use it with a past perfect continuous. Number 6, when her husband arrived, the lady the house for 4 hours. So the lady had been cleaning 4 hours because we have a focus on the duration, so we use it with a past perfect continuous. As soon as the dinner, he called me. As soon as is a keyword for the past perfect simple, so we say as soon as I had cooked the dinner. Question 2, rewrite these sentences using the past perfect sentence or the past perfect continuous. The first one, we played football last week. 1 hour after we began playing, it started to rain. So we have a focus on the duration of the time. So we use it with the past perfect continuous. So we say, we had been playing for 1 hour when it started to rain. Number 2, Maria got a job in a company. 3 years later, she got married to the manager. Again, we have a focus on the duration of the time. So we say, at the time Maria got married to the manager, she had been working on the company for 3 years. So we use it with a past perfect continuous. And the other verb, of course, it must be past simple. Number 3, I went to the stadium to see the match yesterday. After 10 minutes, a baby started to cry. So again, we have a focus on the duration of the time. The match had been going since 10 minutes when a baby started to cry. On the language essentials section, we talked about collective nouns. A collective noun is a word used to define a group of objects. Instead of saying only a group, we must use other words, other collective nouns. So we say a group of people, a flock of birds, a flock of sheep, an army of ants, an army of soldiers, culture of bacteria, a nest of snakes or a nest of mice, a band of gorillas, a shoal of fish, a swarm of bees, a herd of elephants, and a gang of thieves. So you must know these collective nouns. Now, a collective noun can be a singular or a plural, depending on the sense of the sentence. If it is preceded by a or an, it is usually treated as plural noun. It is considered as individual, so we treat it as a plural noun. And if it is preceded by the, it is usually treated as singular noun. It is not considered one unit. Question 1. Circle the correct collective noun in these sentences. Number 1, when we were in Africa, we saw a swarm or herd of elephants. We saw a herd of elephants. Number 2, she was looking at shoal of fish in the sea. 3, a gang of thieves stole money from the bank. 4, an army of soldiers went to the battle. And 5, I collected a group of ideas for my research. Now, number 2, choose the correct choice for each sentence. Pay attention to the collective noun. In the useful expressions section, we have taken expressions used in specific situations. So question 1, what would you like to say in these situations? Number 1, you ask your grandmother about her health. For example, you can say, how's your health? Number 2, your brother is worried about his grades. So for example, you can say, hope for the best. Number 3, a friend has helped you in a difficult situation. You can say, I really appreciate it. Thank you for listening.